Okay, so our first step is always to check the left and the right to see if there's anything we can simplify. So for this problem, we're going to go ahead and skip that step because there's nothing to simplify. We can't put 5 sixths x with 5. We can't add those together because they are not like terms. All right, step 2 is I'm going to highlight the variable term. So I'm going to highlight where the variable is. And then if there's something on the same side, this needs to be all by itself. That's why I'm highlighting it. But it's not. We have this plus 5 here. So we need to subtract 5 because a positive 5 and a negative 5 would make 0. Because again, our goal is to get this by itself. So whatever we do to the left side of the equal sign here, we have to do the same thing here on both sides. Okay, then done with that step. Our third step is to divide. But we know, as we talked about in class, instead of dividing both sides like this by 5/6, because then this looks weird over here, instead we know our fraction rules and that dividing by 5/6 is the same thing as multiplying both sides by the reciprocal of 5/6, which is 6/5. And again, the reason why that works, and again, whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. And the reason that works is because this is going to be 30 over 30. And 30 over 30, because 6 times 5 is 30 and 5 times 6 is 30, this is going to end up canceling out because 30 over 30 is just 1, and then we'd have the x. So instead of writing 1x down, we're going to just know that these make 1, bring down the x, and then we're going to multiply the left side here by 6/5. So we can't cross simplify, so we're going to multiply straight across. So we'd have 108 over 5. So that would be as simplified as it can go. So that answer would work. As well as if you divide 108 by 5, you can also leave that as a decimal because it terminates, it ends. You'd have 21.6. So that answer would also be acceptable, as well as if we wrote 21 and 3/5, that would also work. So that's 3 different ways to write our solution for x. They all have the same exact value. The best one is this one, because remember our goal is to plug in our answer for x. And if we go back over here and we plug in the number we got for x, we're going to need to multiply it by 5, and then we're going to divide by 6. So if we plug in 108 over 5, that's easier to multiply by 5 than our other choices over here. But they're all equivalent. They are all correct ways to write the same answer. Now, another way we could do this problem we learned in class is to use the method of clearing the denominator. That method is used if you don't want a fraction right from the beginning. So if you're like, I don't want this 5/6 right here, I want to get rid of it. So what we're going to do, if we're going to use that method, is we have to multiply both sides by the least common multiple, or the least common denominator. So in this problem, there's only one number in a denominator, and that's 6. So we're going to go ahead and multiply everything by a number 6 can go into. We could use 12, we could use 18, 24, 30, etc. But 6 goes into itself, and that's the smallest. So I'm going to multiply everything in this problem by 6. Everything. Okay, so essentially what we're doing is we're multiplying this whole side by 6, and this is going to have to be the distributive property right here. And then we're going to multiply this side by 6. So everything needs to be multiplied by 6. So we're going to multiply 6 times 5/6. So if we apply our rules for when we're multiplying fractions, this 6 is going to go into this 6 right here once. So we have 5x times 1. And then this 6 times 5 is 30. So again, all we did was 6 times 5/6, which is just 5. And then we're doing 6 times 5, which is, oops, made a mistake there. This should be 30 right here. And then we have 23 times 6. Okay, so now we follow our steps and we have for solving an equation, and now we don't have the fraction. So we subtract 30 and we get 108 divide by 5. We get x equals 108 over 5, or the other answers we got here. So we get the same thing as we got leaving the fraction in the problem as we did if we got rid of it by clearing the denominator, by multiplying everything by 6 or 18 or 24. Any of those numbers would work. Our numbers would end up being different, but we would still end up with the same final answer in the end.